web application architecture models. Web application architecture models. Right. Right. The architecture models, the architecture models, simply you can say design models, you can say architecture models which are used to construct web applications are known as web application archi- archi- architecture models. Architecture models which are used to construct web applications are known as web application architecture models. These web application architecture models are categorized into two types. You can say model 1 architecture, you can say model 2, model 2 architecture, you can say model 1 and model 2. Model 1 architecture, model 2 architecture, they'll say. Right. So model 1, let me draw once, you'll get one idea. In model 1, servlet will not be there. Servlet will not be there. JSP will be the controller. Web browser, you can say. JSP will be there. Request and response both taken by the JSP only. Servlet is not available in model 1. Request and response. Both are done by the JSP. Background being DAO, DAO. More number of beans means JCF, Java Collection Framework. These three are one layer. Actually. This is one layer actually. Your JSP will be interacting with this layer. The total layer will be under the control of JSP. Whatever the database product available, this database product is connected to DAO. So in the model 1, simply you can say JSP is the controller. Without the servlet, it is the controller. This is model 1. Model 1 architecture. Nowadays, this model 1 architecture not available in the market. So no company is using model 1. Whatever the JSP tags are available, we'll use a full-fledged JSP tags for model 1. If model 1 is not available, JSP tags are less used. So you'll expect less questions on JSP. Whenever you update your resume with a framework, they will not ask question on JSPs. Just 1 or 2 questions they'll ask. If you are not updated with the framework, then they will ask servlet JSP combination, they'll ask. Because your project will be servlet JSP. If you updated your resume with Spring, definitely Spring flavors will be there. No? Through Spring, database connection will be there. They'll concentrate on that part. So JSP became weaker. The reason model 1 architecture not available in the market. Model 1 is nothing but servlet not available. JSP only will do the work. JSP will take the request. JSP will give the response. JSP will control beans, DAOs, and JCFs. That model we call it as model 1. Make a sliding. Model 1 architecture. Right. The history says like this. Your language first targeted software controlling small electronic devices. Actually, from there only journey started. They want to develop one language which can control some electronic devices. That is actual idea. From there, your other brought his own language as Java. That is one person idea, James Gosling. Among the team, one person got one idea. Because always James Gosling will be always named as an author of your Java indirectly. So later on, it started coming into internet world slowly, based on the requirement. The modifications keep on changing, updating, and coming. When they want to develop one web application, they want to develop. They started using model 1 first, not model 2. Model 1 architecture is the first design model. to develop web applications. First, they not used Servlet, they used JSP first because of its easiness. So very tag-based programming will be there. Small web applications they used to develop with JSP. So model one architecture is the first design model to develop web applications. In model one architecture, JSP is the controller, which means JSP will accept the request and give the response. In model one architecture, JSP will control beans, DAOs, JCFs. Total application will be under the control of JSP. Make that 3 points now like this. Model one architecture is the first design model to develop web applications. First design model to develop web applications. In model one architecture, JSP is the controller. In model one architecture, JSP is the controller. Which means JSP will accept the request and provide the response. In model one architecture, JSP will control beans, DAOs, and JCF. Right. So draw this diagram. I'll give a time to you. Model one architecture. This is.
Side of the novel. What is the meaning of it? What is the Nagamu meaning in English? Telugu Nagamu meaning in English.
Right, look here. If you take your history and Java history, if you take it, history means engineer's history, evolution history. If you take it, around 20 years or 15 years back, Java developer only will write everything. If we take this application, where is view under JSP? Where is request under JSP? Where is business logic under JSP? Because it only will decide what to access, what to load, what to edit, all everything JSP, sorry, JSP only must write it. So we developers will do every work here. We only will decide the next control, means based on the request what we have to do, we will decide it. We only will write the business logic here, means what type of data you are loading, what you have to get it, where you have to keep it, what you have to filter it, like this. That the last diagrams are business logic diagrams only. Then you only should write view also, what kind of data you are presenting and which form you are presenting. Everything developer only wish to write. So disadvantage of model 1, disadvantage is the code size increases in JSP. So all will be in a single file only. So the size of code in JSP increases, and moreover, business logics next to generating, means next to generating controls, views, everything Java developer only must write. Moreover, any large scale application is there, this model cannot withstand. Means initial days JSP is there. If you take 120 years back, if you take it, JSP can do the work. Nowadays, your applications are very high end. You will take one phone pay, your account will be in some SBI, already your account attached there. You'll recharge one mobile phone with Airtel. If not, you'll book one ticket. If not, one you'll scan one UPI there. All are non-independent. No, independent. They are all not linked. So every independent action is happening today. Nobody will say no. If you are using phone pay, you must scan only phone pay. Nobody will say no. So all dependent actions not available are independent actions only. If you scan it, no, background n number of services must be activated in the background. Your bank account gateway, you are a customer to phone pay, opposite beneficiary person, it has to be detected within a few seconds, and it has to detect his name and show to you. Like this, n number of services activated to you. So definitely application is a large scale application only. It is not a small scale. Small scale means a small application. Whenever you want to develop small scale applications, JSP is preferable. Whenever security is not available, JSP is preferable. When all things only developer want to do, JSP is preferable. Code size much increases in JSP. These are the one or two drawbacks your other shown to us. Make it. Disadvantages, simply you can write disadvantages. Developer must write. Developer must write. Business logics. Business logics. Control flows. Control flows means where it has to go, what it has to take it, which one you have to keep it. That we should write. And presentation logics. Presentation logics means views. Developer must write business logics, control flows, and presentation logics. presentation logic means view. So you only must write HTML. You must write CSS. Everything you only must write. So load is very high on developer in this process. In this process, load is very high on developer. Look here. Suppose 20 years back, if you take before 2020, before 99, 98, 2000, or 2020, 2000, 2001, this period, if you take it, they recruit one engineer means he's a developer only. That's all. They never recruit a tester. They never recruit UI. This kind of concept not there. They never recruit database. No, only one engineer developer. Software engineer developer means he enters into one project, he will do everything on that day. So slowly, this application size has started increasing. The load is very high on the developer. So they want to decrease the load on the developer. Why means we must give some free time to developer. Then only new idea will come. Developer imagination is very important here. Why artificial intelligence is coming? Why? Sir, human beings stopped working his brain. That is a drawback. We are only giving the way for artificial intelligence. We are only giving the way. This is because I stopped thinking, no, sir. If anything is easy, I'll go there. I don't want to work. I don't want to think. I don't want to write. If anything easy is there, I'll go there. Since 15, 20 years, not 20 years, since 10 years, that will happening. Because the corporate people are not believing these human brains. If any frustration is there, he is not working. Any fever is there, he is not working. Any disturbance is there, 1 week he will never write a code. In the frustration, if I give a code, he is making more bugs. To detect that bug, he is taking 1 week, 2 weeks time. Again, I must recruit one engineer for tester to do it. I must pay a double pay amount. Why this headache for me? I'll buy one artificial intelligence machine. That only recently IBM removed few people because of AI. Recently, 1 week back, they're replacing it. Recently, I observed this medical people, medical colleges people, paper correction they done. The paper correction they are doing some professor level that people are there. Your colleges are now medical colleges, associates and professors. They are doing one correction, paper correction. They are doing. That system is controlling them. They had one app because that case came to us. That people, the case I also participated. That system started controlling them. When they are logging in, they must take one laptop and log in. That is final. If we change the laptop, it is not working. Total paper correction should happen through that. If you disconnect it in the middle, again you have to prove your authentication again. Understood this point now? If you are continuously scrolling the page, it will say, why you are correcting very fastly? You must be within the time they are saying. Have you observed this? One software is controlling human being. Have you observed this point? What I am speaking. So one they logged in, that is controlling him. How? I must not touch this. I must not cancel it. I must go slowly. It is controlling me now. Have you observed what I am speaking? Why I am speaking that point now means previous days everything developer only. There is no role of testing. In 2099, there is no testing unit in companies. That came recently. Recently means 15, 16 years back it came. That unit's not available. UI engineer not there. DB engineer not there. All we only must do. But corporate management said that this load is very high on you. So divide it. That only model 2 came. Then they recruited different engineers. Database separate, UI separate, testing separate, development separate. This all came. Right. This is the first drawback is the load is very high on developer. Where business logics you only should write. What you are going to do, taking, sending where, collecting where you are putting, where you are dropping, and all controls you only should write. Moreover, you only should plan the view. So all developer must do. That is in model 1. Take it. Second drawback. Code size is very high in JSP. Code size is very high in JSP. In single JSP program, very lengthy code will be there. Very, very lengthy code. Like our project modularity not there. Modularity means small pieces will break it. That breaking into pieces not there. You have to write in a single JSP. Third one is model 1 architecture is not preferable for large scale applications. Large scale means biggest enterprise application you cannot develop. So model 1 architecture. Model 1 architecture is not preferable for large scale applications. Not preferable for large scale application. The biggest applications not preferable. So nowadays we are not using model 1. No company is preferring to use model 1. So in real time, model 1 architecture is not available. Not for interview purpose only model 1. In real time, model 1 architecture is not available. Right. Now they started dividing these parts. Let us distribute the work. That only model 2 depending upon MVC, model view controller. They divided the application into 3 layers like this. They divided this JSP is there now. Now they said web browser will be there. Here. JSP must not take the request. Now who will take the request now? Servlet started taking the request. In the background, beans will be there. DAOs will be there. JCF will be there. We draw like this. We take one layer. We drop bean.
रूम पर ट्रॉली आपके रूम पर ट्रॉली
Bean we drop.
रंजाई के रूम पे रखते हैं नंदी ना है के
withdraw
अभी तक
DAO,
कहाँ है यार? तो मैं सामान निकाला था, कैसे हुआ था?
more number of beans meets some JCF withdraw.
सामान कैसे
So
होगा?
here
निकालना है तो ताला तोड़ दिया जाएगा, नया लगा दो।
your database is available.
अच्छा, तो रूम में पढ़ना है।
Where this is
विनैया
communicated.
विनैया है ये थे। देखते हैं फोन बात।
Now, here some services. If you want to integrate with other one, suppose sir registration successful. I want one message in the mobile phone, sir.
कह लो कि रंजिया सामान
Registration
चोरी तो
successful.
रख ले,
I
कौन
want
है?
one message in the mail ID, sir. That is not available in Advanced Java.
तो वही लग जाती
You
ना।
must take the support of mobile API and mail API.
अरे जेठा
Yes or
रूम
no?
में खाना बॉय
That's
तो
called
रंजिया हुए है ना।
services. Other services you can take it. All have understood the statement what I drawn here? Right.
तो कहाँ
So I
सामान रख?
trained Bean, I trained JCF, I trained DAO. This DAO I used
तोड़े करने
JDBC
के ना
here.
हो।
For this connection, I took
कहिया आता है?
JDBC.
तो चाबी हो तो रूम तो।
JDBC stands for what now? Java Database Connectivity Basic.
और तो ऊपर सामान में के चोरी
After JDBC, if you are learning Spring JDBC, Spring ORM, Spring Data, if any company uses Hibernate with JPA or other ORM tools, you can use it.
ताला तोड़ कर निकाल
That
कर
is
नया
the
ताला
DAO.
लगवा देंगे।
Always Bean only, JCF
हाँ।
only. The Bean will become a Spring Bean. The Bean will become a web service Bean. The Bean will become a Pojo. Based on some rules, they'll change it. But one object is there to hold the data. Whenever my application want to integrate with other services, I'll use some external services gateway I'm going to use. For that purpose, we are entering into Spring. So very fastly you should enter into Spring without delay. Without delay, very fastly you should enter. Because that external services you have to take it. You have to convert the applications into frameworks. If you keep on converting it, the look will be changed. This is one layer. This is one layer in the background. Now this total layer will be under the control of Servlet. Servlet will control it. The total layer will be under the control of Servlet. Now the Servlet will control JSP also. Will control JSP also. The Servlet started controlling this JSP. This JSP will give the response. Now, this one is controller. This one is view. This is controller. We call it as C. This is view. We call it as V. And this is model. We call it as M. So that is MVC. Three different layers. Into that model layer only the services are integrated for you. So all have understood this diagram. Says note to me. Who is the controller means Servlet is the controller. When you are developing Servlet, no need to think about JSP. Last JSP in one view. In the JSP they given UI also. You can print some color. So like this they given this control. They divided this work. So this model we call it as model to architecture, or we can say JSP MVC. You can say why JSP MVC means servlet JSP in the form of your MVC architecture. So we call it as JSP MVC. This is model to architecture. You can say JSP MVC. You can say. Right. Now write the points. Model 2 architecture. Model 2 architecture is introduced to overcome the disadvantages of model 1 architectures. Model 1 architectures. Model 2 architecture is introduced to overcome the disadvantages of model 1 architecture. Model 2 architecture depends on MVC model view controller. Model view controller. MVC model. Model to architecture depends upon MVC model. Sir, this M means model. I want to know what is model. We'll write one line about each. Right.
Hello.
Wherever the word comes model layer, their beans will be there. Remember the point. Beans will be there. Bean means original data available there only. Beans only will hold data. Because always you have to dump the data to beans. If you observe above programs also, if you want to keep the data, user details, product details, they'll be in the beans only. Beans are the original data holders. So data will be in the beans only. Wherever the bean is there, there is model. To do operations on that bean, we'll write a logic. Loading. We are passing bean to DAO. From there to database, collecting. We are filtering, editing. That is known as business logic. Based on the requirement, we do some work. That's called business logics. So model layer represents beans which are holding enterprise data, business data, and business logic. Business data is there, business logic is there. Means I want to see the details. If you put a query, suppose already data available in the beans and array list, you can filter it and show it. The logic you only will run, it's called business logic. So that all will be in the model layer only, it will be there. Wherever the beans are there, there is a model. These beans for you in the next layer, your trainer will use a spring bean, the term will come. Spring bean, they will use it. You know my bean class rules, no? What are the bean class first rule now? Must be implemented from serializable. Second one is what now? Variables declared in the class must be private. What is the third one now? Must hold zero argument constructor. What is the fourth one now? Setters and getters. Say these 4 points to your next trainer. What is a servlet bean you learned? Means the class which is constructed with these 4 rules, we call it as bean class. This bean class will generate one object, we call it as bean object. What you done with bean object? Sir, I practiced. Whenever I want to send the data to database, I'm keeping the data in the bean and sending. Whenever I'm collecting the data from database, I'm putting on the bean and working. You can observe that point. So original data will be in the beans only. That's the point. This bean, your spring trainer will say spring bean, he will say. Whenever he says spring bean, keenly observe it. What is going to write the points? Spring bean, he'll write the points, no? Some 1 or 2 points he will add it. Understood this point or right? So some change will do. Some model will be changed. Maybe he'll keep on security, I think. Maybe he change the variable, I think. Understood this point or spring bean will come. Some trainer will use Pojo. Pojo object, he'll say Pojo. Plain old Java object. Nothing but object only. Some rules will be changing. Understood this point or right? So you have to observe that point and record that names. When the warren comes, they'll say Pojo object, they'll say. When the spring or web service comes, they'll say Java, sorry, spring beans, they'll say. They'll write the notes also. At last, it is a bean only. Understand? At last, it is a bean. Some materials will write enterprise bean. Enterprise means what? Business data only. Enterprise bean. Enterprise EJB, separate is there. Enterprise Java bean, separate technology is there for us. Enterprise Java bean means Java beans are there, means that is model. Only data what we can do. We must write some logics on it to retrieve it, add it, edit it, delete it. Something we have to do. That's called business logic. Wherever the bean is there, attached with the business logic. Datas are coming, datas are going. Where it will go? From database only. Because database also attached there through DAO. If you see this layer, you can see beans are the major. Beans are the major. Wherever the bean is there, their business logic is there. DAOs are there, no? Right? So wherever the connection is there, JDBC is there. Where the bean is there, DAO is there. More number of beans are there, JCF is there. Any external data coming out of your web browser, I don't have that course in my room. I kept the services and I left it. So next trainer will take care. Next trainer will take care about it. Got it right? Now write down point. Model layer will hold model layer means beans holding enterprise data and business logics. Model layer means beans holding enterprise data and business logics. Right. Model layer also includes DAOs, JCFs and services. Services means external services. You had it. Now comes view. Model view. V stands for view. So view represents presentation of web application. Make it view layer represents presentation of web application. We use JSP in view layer. We use JSP in view layer. Nowadays, this JSP became weaker because many updations are occurring nowadays. This UI people are coming with many updations. Yes, sir, no, na. We only given the way to for them. 15 years back, when the load is there, you called one engineer and take care about UI, he said. Today, the UI engineer started taking equivalent salary to you. Yes, sir, no, na. That people came because of your load only. If not, UI not there. UI recently means first developer only done. Because of his huge load, they given to control to, not loaded. Actually, disturbances by human brain. So he's making more bugs. To correct, somebody should be recruited. Then only testing unit came. After that, load should be decreased. So UI separated. So when the UI engineer came, he also came with many updations. He is having his own frameworks, tools, updations, enhancements. Lot more came today. It's called view. So through JSP, you can present UI. But only something only we are using JSP initial. Whether Spring started or not, I don't know. If you use Spring Core and Spring MVC, your trainer will try to use your JSP. If not, you'll use some other model for presentation. Get it. This is video. Finally, C controller. Right. So controller represents accepting HTTP request and providing the response. We use servlet in controller layer. We use servlet in controller layer. Servlet will control beans, DAOs, JCFs, services, and JSP. Means total application will be under the control of servlet. Because of this reason, web application, other name is servlet application. Web application means servlet application, because without servlet you cannot enter inside. It only will deal the work. Make it servlet will control beans, JCFs, DAOs, services, and JSP. The total will be under the control of servlet. So in the market, we are using MVC architecture. We are using That is not JSP MVC. We are using Spring MVC. We are using. So Spring flavored MVC we are using. Model view controller. Here Spring not there, so we call it as JSP MVC. When the Spring flavor is there, they'll call it as a Spring MVC. They'll say. I'll speak about the modules also. Last, what is Spring Core? What is Spring MVC? What is Spring JDBC? What is Spring Security? What is Spring Boot? I only will give the notes. One line, one line, I'll give it. So that you can decide it. Whether you can attend all, something you can skip it, something you can short it. You can decide it. 1 or 2 points I'll write about them. Got everybody? Right. So who is the controller here now? Servlet. This is known as JSP MVC, we'll say. JSP MVC means MVC architecture with JSP included. Spring MVC means MVC architecture with Spring included. That's the meaning. Everybody should know Spring MVC. If you know Spring MVC, my program, you can convert into Spring MVC. Ben, right. So draw the diagram here. So draw the diagram. The diagram. Right. So MVC is supporting your modularity support. What is the advantage of MVCs means to see that. Suppose database changed here. Without changing the major code, you can change the DAO. That's the advantage. Only one part will be changed. Suppose JDBC modified to Spring or any other ORM, only limited code you can change it, not much code, because this MVC is popular. Whenever you want to integrate with external services, without changing anything here, no need to touch anything here. Just one service gateway you can add it and integrate it. Means advantage of MVC is whenever enhancement happened, whenever updation happened, minimum code will be altered. Major code will not be disturbed. What is the benefit in that point of view means management people already they delivered some amount on this model. Project has been released. Again, they want to update it means the same cost they cannot repeat it. So only minimum things they should repeat it. For that only the hit model is MVC. that MVCs today support is separate. Spring MVCs or any other framework MVCs are coming. This MVC is common to all. .NET people also will develop application in the form of MVC only. PHP people also will develop applications in the form of MVC only. Java people also will follow the MVC, model view controller. But for a Spring MVC, for them some other name will be there. That's the point. So up to now, our applications are JSP MVCs, means servlet giving the response in the form of JSP. That's the point. Right. All of you understood this discussion? Yes or no to me once. Right. So nowadays, what happened now again? Sir, starting I only written all no, sir. 20 years back. Again, I only will return all, sir. That only full stack Java developer. Today again reversed again. Sir, I only will do UI, sir. I only will do database, sir. I only will do all, sir. I am learning React JS also, sir. I am becoming a full stack Java developer again back. Because your role is full stack. I only will do all. Why means living cost increases, sir. All amount I only want it, sir. I don't want to distribute my amount, sir. I only want it. That's only full stack Java developer. Management also that only. Okay. Single person doing all the work. Headache not there for me. Resources decreased or not now, right? So they started recruiting full stack Java developers, having hands on all layers. Not only your course that UI is there, DB is there, tools is there, and all are inclusive to your course. Indicates full stack Java developer. Total layers I only will do. I'll have hands on this model. So point. Model 1, model 2. Whenever we use model 1, you must know more JSP tags. When are you using model 2, JSP limited needed because updations happened today. So now we are writing the pending tags in JSP, 1 or 2 programs related to model 1. Already model 2, 1 or 2 programs already there in model 2. Model 1 not available. So we write 1 or 2 programs related to model 2. Right, I'll scroll back once. Right. Under I given some notes to you. JSP. JSP is a tag-based programming language. Notes is there for you. We use following tags to write JSP code. Yes or no? Right. So scripting tags. There are 3 types of tags available. One is scripting tags. I'll write the names anyway. So scriptlet tag we used. Expression tag we used. Declarative tag not used anyway. Next we have directive tags. Under directive tags, 3 types are there. At the rate of page we used, include we used, tag lib not used, and we had action tags. So these are the tags. How many tags available in JSP now? 3 tags. What are they now? Scripting tags, directive tags, action tags. JSP tags are popularly used for model 1. Understand this point? Model 1. If any application related to model 1 is there, then huge JSP tags will come. If you are not using, in market we are not using model 1, so JSP tags they'll ask only few questions on it. But let us create some awareness to you. So JSP tags 3 types: scripting, directive, action. Scripting how many types now? 3 types. What are they now? Scriptlet tag, expression tag, declarative tag. Directive tags how many types now? 3 types. What are they now? At the rate of page, at the rate of include, at the rate of tag lib. What is the last tag now? Action tags. In this action tags now, JSP include, JSP forward, JSP PARM, JSP use B, JSP set property, JSP get property. Here tag lib not used, here declarative not used. So let me use this for 6 tags first, then I'll come back. Okay, right. Now, this will be available in your notes, no problem, right? And I'm not giving time to record it. Now, example program 1 I'm taking. Anybody want to write it or no need? You can copy from the notes now for padding purpose. Okay, right. Now, I want to show 3 tags now. Construct one JSP application to demonstrate JSP include, JSP forward, JSP PRAM. Actually, right. Now look here. I took one similar program I'll take from Servlet. Input .html. We are taking one value 1 I'll take. Value 2 I'll take. Value 1 and value 2. V1 and I'll take V2. Here I'll take 2 submit buttons. Add, subtract. S1, S1. Action is equal to servlet not available. Today, JSP has to take the data. So simply choice dot JSP. We are submitting the data to one JSP file. I'm taking 7 and 2. I'll click on add. I'm developing model 1 architecture. I'm developing. Now who is taking the request now? JSP. JSP is trying to take the request without the servlet. So we are submitting the data to JSP. Now that JSP program will be loaded. Choice.jsp. Up to now, I drawn some diagrams to you. In forward communication, JSP is coming. In forward communication, JSP is loading. In forward communication, I am forwarding request and response. Request and response objects are reused. That you observed from the diagram. But here, I am not getting the request from servlet. Directly, I only getting the request. Request is coming to me directly. Whatever the request given by the HTML form, the request is coming to JSP. Same. Here, automatically objects are created. Object created automatically is config. Object created automatically is request. I am not forwarding from servlet. If I am not forwarding from servlet, it only auto instantiated. Config object will come. Next request object will come. Next response object will come. They are all auto instantiated. Response object will come. Response object will come. Out. Object out. JSP writer. Out object will come. So there is one interlink between them. Like this. The data are available here now. Where V1 is equal to 7. Where V2 is equal to 2. Where S1 is equal to add or subtract. The same concept like your servlet. Now the choice servlet will take this S1. Same like servlet programming only. S1. If S1 is add, forward the control to add servlet. Here, addition dot JSP. Forward the control to addition dot JSP. We are using the first tag. What is the first? Sorry, second tag. What is the second tag now? JSP forward. That only. So we are using JSP forward. We are using. Through JSP forward, we are forwarding. Whenever you forward and now, here config object will come. Separate config object will come. But you are forwarding no. Same response and request will come. Forwarding. As if like servlet. The two are reused. So request object will come. Request. Response. Separate objects will come. Out. These two objects are reused, remaining all separate. Request, response. Whatever the data available here, the same data available here. 7. V2 is equal to 2. And S1 is equal to add. All of you understood this, yes or no to me? Right. If not, forward the control to another one. Another one means some subtraction dot JSP. JSP. Right. Can I write the program? Right. Very easy will be there. JSP. Like servlet lengthy code will not be there. Right. I am writing. So stop your Tomcat server. Old story again. Yesterday one student is saying, sir, can I go to Springer? If not, can I practice for 3 months advanced Java and can I go? 3 months, what will do in advanced Java? You must not do that mistake. Generally, 10th class completed, right examination, forget it, over. Again, you must go forward. Why means, every whatever you learned, that will create one capability in you. Enough, go forward. If you learn something, that creates one capable for you to learn for the next level. So already you got capabilities for spring already. Go and sit and test yourself, because competitions are very high, you know already. So you must not practice here only, you must go forward, you must walk forward. That student is here only in front of me already. Right. Look here. Look here. So stop the Tomcat, old story. Now I'm creating only JSP, I'm creating. So dynamic web project, common. So here application, if not JSP application 1, I'm taking JSP application 1. Same, add jar file, because JSP is nothing but servlet objects only. So add servlet jar only here. Right click, build path, configure build path, libraries, add external jar, servlet API, open, apply and close. Right click, new HTML, input dot HTML, click on finish. One form tag. Here action is equal to choice dot JSP. We are submitting to JSP. Method is equal to post. Method is equal to post. Enter the value 1. Input type. Type is equal to text. Name is equal to V1. Enter the value 2. This is V2. Input type is equal to submit, where name is equal to S1, value is equal to add. S1 and separate, like this. This is HTML file, always we write it. Go for JSP. Right click on web app, new JSP, choice dot JSP, choice dot JSP. Here I'm taking scriptlet tag, I'm taking. So string S1 is equal to request dot get parameter of S1. If S1 dot equals S1 dot equals of add. If it is true, okay. If not, else. If it is true, forward the control to addition.jsp. Okay, right. See there. Whenever I want write JSP forward, I want write. Whenever I want write JSP forward, that is what action tag. Whenever I want write action tag there, already scriptlet tag is there. You have to close that scriptlet tag. You have to close it. You have to open it. So here to here one scriptlet. Here to here one scriptlet. Inside this I am writing JSP forward. So forward the page is edition dot JSP. I am not writing any subtags inside. Close it. If it is else, I want to forward to subtraction dot JSP. Again, close the scriptlet tag. Open the scriptlet. So JSP include, not include. JSP forward. Here subtraction dot JSP. Here I am forwarding the control to addition dot JSP. Here I am forwarding the control to subtraction dot JSP. Whenever I want to write an action tag, I am closing the scriptlet tag and writing action tag. Then I am opening the scriptlet tag, closing the scriptlet tag, writing. Again I am opening and closing. That's a way of writing. Now the controls will come to any one, addition or subtraction. Now we are typing addition.jsp. So right click on web app, new one JSP addition.jsp. Click on finish. What addition.jsp has to do? So scriptlet. Take that v1 inside. Int v1 is equal to integer dot parse int request dot get parameter of v1, taking that v1 and v2 inside. v1 and v2. Must write double quotes now. Taking that v1, v2 inside. This v1, this v2 inside. So add it. Into v1, sorry, v3 is equal to v1 plus v2. So out dot print ln. So sum is equal to v3 and sum br. So JSP include. You can include the file. JSP include input dot html. All of you understood JSP include now? As if like RD include, RD forward. Okay, right. The same code you have to maintain for your subtraction. I'll save as subtraction dot.jsp. Here one subtraction will be there. There's subtraction. The code is ready. Right. All of you understood this code? Same program in the servlet is there now. As if like RD include, RD forward, we had a JSP. To run this program, we use ABAP. Right click web.xml. Right click on webinf, new, other, XML, web.xml. Click on finish. Web. Welcome. Input dot html. I'll run the program. Run as sum is equal to 9. Coming no answer. Right. So this is only forward and include. PRM I not written. I will show you the next program. I will show you. Right. All of you understood this program? Yes or no to me once. Right. So I'll add this program first. Tomorrow I'll write the notes on it. So today I'll add it. So construct JSP application to demonstrate JSP forward and JSP include. One program. Here layout is there for you. I took input dot html, choice dot JSP, edition dot JSP, superaction dot JSP, so web dot XML. This is the program. I'll type it. Why I'm giving these two programs, I'll give tomorrow one more to show that model one architecture. Model one means who is accepting the request here now? JSP. Who is giving the response? JSP. So JSP is the controller. I want to say that. And with that one or two tags I'm explaining to you for interview point of view, so that you can speak about the tags. This kind of practice you must not do because only JSP not there. But you type whatever the program I given, you type that. No assignment on it. Just seeing the tags enough because already servlet practice over. Right, okay. Take a break for today. Thank you very much for today.
ఈల్డ్ అనేది అంటే బ్రేక్ చేసింది ప్లస్ రిజల్ట్ కూడా జనరేట్ చేసింది కదా మళ్ళీ రిటర్న్ ఎందుకు వస్తుంది అంటే ఈల్డ్ కూడా రిటర్న్ చేసింది కదా జస్ట్ బ్రేక్ సార్ రికార్డ్ ఉంటే రికార్డ్ కానీ మనం కాల్ చేస్తుంటే గట్టి నెంబర్స్కి రావట్లేదు, అంటే ఆటో జనరేట్ అవుతాయి కదా రికార్డ్లో.